Remember flashbacks, cash apps, now we flipping shit, we could go back.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the NBA Recap. Yes, sir, back on the video. We're back on the episode. And today, man, the playoff basketball is finally here, man. Now, of course, I wanted to do an overview of the entire playoffs, but I have to fast forward. I'll probably do a video of that later, but I have to fast forward until now because there are some different issues going on with the Los Angeles Clippers. Jesus Christ. It is getting bad over there, and we don't know what's going on and what can they do to help themselves. They're looking really bad. I'm just gonna get right into it. Like, forget my intro. We're just gonna get right into it, bro. Man, the Clippers. What can you say about them? I don't understand what is so wrong with this team that they can't close these games. Like, is it just lack of attention to detail? Are they just this bad? Can they just not hit a shot in crunch time? Like, the funny thing is that the Clippers played that actually. I'm gonna go all the way back to game one. Game one, they did not play great. They let Luka cook, and they gave away too many wide open threes, and that's why the Mavericks are shooting historically great from three right now. But the thing was that the issue was that Kawhi wasn't on Luka a lot of game one, and we saw that a lot change in game two. But most of the time in game one, it was Luka cooked. He had a 31-point triple double. He just did his thing. At that point, the Tim Hardaway was shooting the lights out. Porzingis didn't really have a great game, but he still got a emphatic dunk to kind of seal the game. And then Jalen Brunson had a great game off the bench. Also, Dorian Finney-Smith had a great game. But in game two, the issue arose again, where they let Luka cook. I mean, they put different defenders on him, but even that, he was still putting shots up. He was still doing great. Like, it was really hard to watch the Clippers fold, like, really that bad. Now, let me not say this. The series is obviously not over yet. Obviously, they got a chance to come back in the series because it is 2-0, but at the same time, they are in an unfavorable situation right now where they've completely lost home court. They're going to a Dallas, which is probably going to be like 95% capacity, and they're going to be hooping. So I don't know what is going to happen, but they have to work through something. A lot of stuff that I saw was Kawhi Leonard had a fantastic game yesterday, but the thing was that he just couldn't exert the same energy he had for offense on defense, and it was just really bad to see how it was going because they couldn't figure anything out. Like, at the end of the point, Luka had 39 points, 7 rebounds, and 7 assists, and somehow like he wasn't the only picture. Tim Hardaway Jr. once again had a great game. Porzingis had a better game than he had game one. It was just crazy to see how they will be able to adjust in Dallas. Now you're in Dallas. You're in their house now. So your home court advantage is done. It's finished. But now you're going to Dallas. I think the only way for them to fix, the only thing for them to fix for the Clippers is just like fight over those screens, man. That's the only thing you can do at this point. You have to fight over those screens. That's the only way you guys are even going to have a chance to win. Because the way they're looking right now, the Mavericks are looking like the better team, which they should not be. Because the Clippers have much better talent and should be the clear favorites, which they were. But the issue is that, like, even though, like, the whole Paul George thing, he's playing great right now. I'm sick of people saying pandemic P, 1 for 7 from 3. He's been playing great, okay? Maybe not on the defensive end as much as we'd like to, but he's been playing great overall. So my camera just shook, so don't get scared. But apologize. But the thing is that it's just I don't understand the pieces that they have. I understand Serge Ibaka is injured, but like he came back and was relatively healthy. So what is going on now? Is it just rust? Zubac, their rim protection has been absolutely terrible. The way that's been attended to the game, like the mood in the game was just like so like dead. Like where is the energy? Like who's gonna be an energy guy? I thought that was gonna be Rondo. So I thought like when they got Rondo, I thought that was a very underrated signing. But Tyronn Lue is not even putting Rondo in the end. Like, well, I don't understand. Like, what is going on? I don't understand what's going on. Like the Mavericks, but we have to talk about the Mavericks a little bit, bro, because Luka Doncic has been playing the greatest basketball we've ever seen a man play in the playoffs. He's just proving his superstar status once again. Even though I think he's a superstar, I think he's a superstar already. But it's just, where do you see him? You can't guard. It's just like, it's really hard to guard him right now. It's really hard to guard him. Like, you don't know what he, even like when the Clippers try to trap him, we would just kick it out to Tim Hardaway Jr. I just call him Tim. Yeah, let's kick it out to Tim for the easy three. Like, I read a stat the other day. I read a stat yesterday or today. It was about how the Clippers gave up like 10 wide open, or 10 open threes, and like 5 like wide open threes. A total of 15 threes. I think for the game they gave up like 18, but at the same time they gave up a lot of threes. Like, it was horrendous how bad they were defending. This is a team that has 2 all-star wing defenders, and somehow they've been playing really bad defense. I don't understand where they go from this. I don't understand what is going to happen. I don't understand where it's going to go. I don't know what they really need to do to fix, because like I said yesterday, they played a pretty decent game on offense. Like, they played a pretty decent game. This is the Mavericks were just shooting the lights out, and they couldn't miss. Like, it was just bad. Like, I don't understand where they're gonna go from here. I don't understand how they're gonna fix everything. They just have to fight over them screens. But I think that's the only saving grace for them. Don't let Luka find a favorable matchup, which seems like every person on the Clippers right now. But like, the thing is just like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, I don't understand what the Clippers are doing. Like, you get DeMarcus Cousins to be a guy in the playoffs, and he's getting DMP after DMP. Luke Kennard, a $64 million contract, DMP. Terrence Mann just got minutes today, even though he played pretty decent today. Just got minutes today. Um, Reggie Jackson, even though he played pretty decent, not a great signing in my opinion. Like, it's just, Nicholas Batum. Like, okay, for the Clippers, we knew that their 3-point shooting was not going to hold up as great as it did in the regular season, but I not think it was going to be this like bad. Like, obviously last game, like, they shot pretty well, but like, it's just like they're not, like I said, I'm gonna keep saying this. Like, on offense, they played a great game. It's just like defensively, they were terrible. Like, it's just, what can you do? What can you do? Now, I don't know how the Mavericks will stop that. I don't know if the Mavericks will ever stop their 3-point shooting streak. I hope they don't, because it's really entertaining to see. But yeah, it's just like, what do you do if you're the Clippers right now? You played pretty much a great game. Kawhi played amazing. Paul George played pretty good, and you still lose. I think it's just the role players at this point. I think the role players are not playing their role. I think the next highest guy was, I think, was it Reggie Jackson, who had like 15 or 16 or something like that. So like, I'm just saying, I don't know what's going. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happening. We saw Ron on the bench, who's yelling at Koji, yelling at Serge Ibaka. Like, just something is going on with the Clippers right now, and seem to, I can't seem to decipher what is going on with them. I don't know, but I'm gonna transition off from them. Um, like I said, the series isn't over, but like, I'm just gonna transition off from them because I can't stand what they're doing right now. I'm gonna go to the Lakers. Lakers versus Suns. Um, the Suns obviously took game 1. We saw they played great. CP3 had a shoulder injury for some reason. The CP I tweeted this out. The CP3 curse lives on once again. It's just, we don't know what's gonna happen. We he played pretty bad. He only played like 23 minutes yesterday, but he played pretty bad in those 23 minutes. He wasn't himself, and the Lakers kind of took advantage of that. They kind of started doubling Devin Booker, did not let him get a comfortable shot. DeAndre Ayton once again had a pretty decent game. The role players have not been shooting well for the Suns. I think that's the effect of the Lakers defense. But like, Mikal Bridges has not been shooting great. Jay Crowder has not been shooting great, even though he had a pretty insane 4 point play. He hasn't been shooting great. Um, they kind of just been turning to that young team that they are without Chris Paul on the floor. Um, Anthony Davis had a horrendous, absolutely garbage game in the first game, and he came back, had a great game at 34, 10, and 7 with like 3 blocks. Went to the free throw line a lot. I believe he had like 21 free throws. So LeBron, being LeBron, he was in some tough shots. Oh god, like the fadeaways, the threes, like it was really ridiculous seeing when LeBron shoots like well. And I even like, I'm saying this right now, but LeBron, in my opinion, obviously still dealing with that ankle injury, but like, he's mainly coasting. Like, he's not really going into the paint, like driving. We saw bits and pieces of it. He's starting to get that energy back. He was starting to drive in the lane a little bit more, but it's just he's been relying on that shot, and shot's been shooting what I believe he shot what 4 for 9 from three. Ridiculous, man. He hit that clutch dagger three that was along with Anthony Davis. Like Anthony Davis and LeBron James kind of took over like the last like few minutes of the game. I just took over. Alex Cruiser had a nice dunk to kind of seal it officially from there. Um, KCP has been struggling, man. He's not been hitting the shot. We saw LeBron talking to him, be like, "I want your ass to shoot the ball. I pass you to shoot, so shoot." So like you gotta get his confidence back. 3-point shooting has been pretty horrendous for both teams, to be honest. They've been shooting pretty bad. DeAndre Ayton had a nice game. But I don't know where the Lakers. I think they kind of have control of the series now. CP3 don't know the extent of his injury. They're saying they might send him out for the next game. Who knows? But you're in a tough spot. Going back to LA. It's gonna be pretty hard, pretty difficult for you guys to try and come back and see what you guys can do. Let's see what now the defense scheme has been. They have figured out a defense scheme. Andre Drummond played pretty great last night. No one's accustomed to saying that, but Andre Drummond played pretty decent last night. Dennis Schroeder also had a big game. He had also had a big game. Um, yeah, the Lakers just pulled through another game. This is the team that we've been seeing. Obviously, they did not do great. Obviously, they still gave up some. They still gave up some dumb stuff. Especially Devin Booker. Devin Booker fouled on or 2 3-point fouls or something like that. Like it was ridiculous seeing that. Um, but yeah, I plan on making a playoff video later, but I had to get this stuff with the Clippers off my chest. Like it was horrendous seeing that. But yeah, like, comment, share, subscribe, and without further ado, as always, we out. Peace.
The wig, I don't condone that. Say that you my brother, you a bitch. I say, yeah, 21, we taking off.